Hello, hello. Red light means we're rolling. And whether you are hoping to start a family soon, or you're trying for baby number 2 or number 6, you go, Glen Coco. Or maybe you're just curious about what a healthy pregnancy could actually look like from the inside out. You are in the right place with me here today, my friends. So, we're going to shake off the old, outdated advice. We're going to dive into what truly matters when it comes to conception, to pregnancy, to your future baby's health. And this is going to be based on research, our clinical experience here at Healing Touch of taking care of thousands of patients, and some hard truths. So, I'm Dr. Mark. I'm a prenatal, pediatric, and family chiropractor, one of 3 here in our practice, Healing Touch Chiropractic. Between the 3 of us, we have a combined total of over 35 years, roughly, taking care of folks and their kids. I've done hundreds of hours of postgraduate education, research, and training into all things health and wellness for families and for children, ranging from relevant to this topic, being on birth control in my late teens, early 20s, to ditching that garbage, to pretty massive grief and loss after we had an ectopic pregnancy in 2018. Lost a fallopian tube after that. I had a miscarriage. We had a miscarriage in 2020. And then now to normalizing my period and my health. And now we've got 2 kiddos, and almost the will be 2 in September. Our daughter, Hank, just turned 4 in January. And my pregnancies were awesome. They were vibrant and youthful. And so I truly have had the full gamut. And my passion and my purpose is to sharing the hope and expectancy of a radiantly beautiful life, particularly as it relates to family health. And conception and pregnancy and birth are part of a brilliantly designed process. And so when we respect that process and remove imbalance, the white noise, the body does what it was created to do, which was create life. So we're going to jump right into a stat. Now, according to the CDC, which I do not bank on them for much truth, guys, but they say that 1 in 5 couples struggle. Nope, they actually say 1 in 5 women struggles with infertility. And while I do agree with the number, it's bull tanky. It takes a couple to tango, and literally, okay? So if we change that from 1 in 5 women to 1 in 5 couples, wow, this is a major issue, guys. So preconception health influences the risk of miscarriage, gestational diabetes, developmental delays for babies, complications during pregnancy, and beyond. And so those are like the big bad things that most people are worried about preventing, specifically when conceiving and having a baby. But the clincher now, and what fuels me specifically to do what I do, is how do I have and how do others have and experience a completely awesome, rocking pregnancy, delivery, and postnatal period, because it is possible to expect and reach for that unparalleled. So I find deep resolve in chiropractic's foundation, that the power that made the body heals the body. And this power only flows through your nervous system, guys, which directs every single function related to fertility. It's hormones, it's implantation, it's even how your body adapts to stress, it's the environment of the uterus, it's the quality and quantity of sperm, quantity or quality of eggs. So today we're going to break this down using what chiropractic calls the 3 Ps. And I shouldn't just say that, maybe it's not unique to chiropractic, but we are going to put a chiropractic lens on that. We're also going to tandem alongside research on how nourishment and stress and sleep and movement, they all influence fertility and pregnancy outcomes. So let's get one thing straight. You are not just trying to get pregnant when you decide to have a baby. Fertility is not just about your reproductive organs. You are building a human, a whole ass human. And you, future mom or dad or concerned third party, you're the architects, you're the builders. So ipso facto, it's about your entire nervous system, your entire environment, your entire lifestyle, fertility is not just a single system issue. It is a metric of whole body readiness, of whole body health for both mom and for dad, okay? And this readiness, it truly starts 3 to 6 months before conception. Why? Because the quality of the egg, of the sperm, the uterine environment, that's built over time. You don't just decide like, oh, today I'm going to have a baby, boom. Hope the status is ready because this is coming. The choices you make today are laying the foundation for your future baby's health. So a fun fact that most people don't know, the egg that you release today during your current menstrual cycle, if you're a lady, okay, it actually started growing as a follicle 120 days ago. It takes that long for that ovarian follicle to reach maturation. So if you have a period that's a little off or maybe a lot off, I'd be going back 4-ish months to look at what was going on in your life that maybe contributed. Was there stress? Did you have diet changes? Was there trauma? Big life changes? Inflammation? I mean, like there's a million and one. There's a myriad of things that affect our overall health. So if you have a wonky period, go back 4 months. Sperm, they're similar. Just a slightly shorter span. They mature in roughly 90-ish days. My Facebook ads are getting crazy targeted. They're crazy good. And something that recently popped up, it was a company marketing towards those with a spiritual faith. And the mug that you see is actually what caught my attention. And it reads, "Today matters for eternity." I relate that exactly to this topic, exactly to health. Today matters for eternity, guys, for generations beyond you even. So we're going to dig right into those 3 P's. The first being power. So yes, all mamas are bad mama jammas, strong, tough, totally BA. But power in this regard is actually the vital force that animates our body and determines how well you conceive and can carry a pregnancy. So this power flows through your nervous system to parts of the body, including every single organ and every single muscle. Hello, uterus, okay? So that baby must be top notch. And when I say that baby, I guess I'm talking about your uterus, but ipso facto again, I like that word. That baby must be top notch in order to efficiently grow and house a baby inside it, and then to initiate and sustain birth, okay? So the uterine muscles, they contract from the top, the fundus is the top, and downward, and they apply pressure to get baby out. Meanwhile, the walls of the uterus actually clamp together. Think of like cymbals. And so that helps guide the baby down towards the cervix, down towards the birth canal. If there is any neural imbalance, whether it's from stress or trauma or toxins or a structural misalignment, not only is it like trying to start a fire with wet wood, but the expulsive forces of the uterus won't be as strong, won't be as synchronized, won't be as perfectly timed, as coordinated, as effective. So chiropractic care in this regard ensures those muscles and every muscle, organ, and cell in the body is able to function at its best during labor and beyond. So this equates to shorter labors, to more effective contractions, to less need and risk for interventions. The second P we like to talk about is the passenger, equals developing baby. So baby's growth and development is not just tied to mom, it's directly impacted by mom's neurophysiology. Mom's overall system regulates hormonal balance, stress response, digestion, blood flow, and overall fetal environment. This is exactly why if you've had a new patient visit in our office, or if you're considering it, we're going to ask you about your pregnancy, and we want to know things like 0 to 10, how stressed were you during your pregnancy? Were you taking meds? What was going on in your life at that time? Because it directly osmosis to baby, truly. Baby's environment and their development is constantly adapting to the uterine environment that mom provides. So if you are stuck in a state of fight or flight, your baby is too. And chronic stress can lead to increased miscarriage risk, can lead to poor fetal development, can lead to developmental delays, weaker immune function. In fact, the American Journal of Obstetric and Gynecology, they found that stress during pregnancy increases the risk of developmental delays by up to 45%. All right. So if you would describe yourself as a nervous Nelly, chiropractic becoming and during pregnancy isn't just a nicety, but truly a necessity, guys. Chiropractic care is going to help restore a state of balance by improving your nervous system communication. This is going to result in a healthier uterine environment, optimal blood flow, better nutrient delivery, a balanced stress response, all crucial things for baby's health, for baby's positioning, for your labor and delivery. The third P equals passageway. And this is going to refer to the physical path your baby travels during birth, the birth canal. So when the pelvis is misaligned, the graphic that we've got here has just shows a very brief, there's all sorts of ways that we can have structural misalignments, guys. But when the pelvis is misaligned, or if there's restriction, or if there's imbalance, it can cause dysfunction and pain, which is going to reduce space for the baby to move and frolic. It's going to affect fetal positioning again. It's going to prolong labor, and it can even lead to interventions that could have been avoided. So chiropractic adjustments during pregnancy support pelvic alignment. They ensure your baby has the best chance to get into the optimal position for birth. The baby's ability to move into that correct position is significantly influenced by the mother's pelvic alignment and that uterine environment. So when the pelvis is balanced and unrestricted, baby has the space to assume the ideal head down, anterior facing position for birth. A mentor of mine calls this luxury pelvis. I like that a lot. I think that's a pretty good representation, a pretty good sum up of all of this. And so we talk about these, yes, in the context of birth, but the truth is that they start way before you even conceive, because your nervous system must be clear of imbalance, stress, interference for for your hormones to function properly. If communication between your brain and your body is scrambled, fertility is going to suffer. When we talk about the passenger, your baby's health begins before they're in your womb, guys, because you are literally taking mom's health and dad's health and mashing them together. So creating a balanced, nourished, neurologically sound environment for mom and for dad is part of conception, not just for pregnancy. I know I dropped uterine environment several times, but that luxury pelvis starts before there's a baby in it, all right? And then when we look at the passageway, your pelvis, your reproductive organs, they don't magically become important once you're pregnant. Chiropractic ensures your reproductive anatomy and the functioning physiology is working optimally from the start. Most infertility cases are not mysterious, okay? They're truly systematic. Oh, another one. Oh, thanks, guys. Nervous system regulation is often the missing piece. That has been our experience. So when the nervous system works without interruption, with flow and ease, conception can happen as naturally as breathing, truly. The bottom line, if you are preparing your body to bring in life, you don't wait for the bump to get adjusted, okay? You get adjusted now before the baby is even on board. And we can't be forgetting, I know I've said mom and dad several times, but I just want to make sure that you are not overlooking this. So dad's health absolutely matters. It is just as important as mom's. And the gold research on the topics of preconception and fertility comes from actually a chiropractor, guys, practicing in Wisconsin, Dr. Marcia Schaefer, and how we practice here at Healing Touch completely aligns with her teachings. I have followed her for the last, almost 10 years. I've done additional mentoring with her. She is dynamite. If you are on social media, follow the account that I have here in the slides. She's got bomb education. There's tangible steps. And she really just talks about, like I said, it aligns perfectly with how we look at Healing Touch, is whatever metric of health we're talking about. If it's sperm quality, if it's a healthy cycle, if it's allergies, if it's digestion, like that truly is only a piece of the whole. So if you have issues with that, it's because there is greater systemic upset with the neural system. So even if you are just wanting to fill your Instagram account with something positive and educational, like give her account a follow. You will not be disappointed. But she and we here that sperm health is influenced by stress, by diet, by toxins, by lifestyle, just like the egg is. So if dad is stressed, if dad is unhealthy, if dad is not addressing structural imbalances, it can directly affect conception. Sperm is not just a carrier of DNA. Dad's role is not just here for the fun and out. The sperm is truly a blueprint that directly impacts how pregnancy unfolds. And the quality of dad's sperm plays a vital role in the development of the placenta, specifically the fetal side of the placenta. So if you look, I actually have a picture of my pregnancy with Hank. If you have never seen a placenta, that's what it looks like on the outside. But if dad's sperm quality is low, if it's fragmented, or if it's toxic, that's going to affect placental health, which is going to not just impact like baby's nourishment truly, but this is also mom's risk for complications like preeclampsia or how intense her morning sickness is. So those of you who have had pregnancy, have been pregnancy and have endured morning sickness, talk to your dude. Talk to your dude, because half of the epigenetic expression of a babe and the placenta comes from dad. Poor sperm quality. I like that, poor sperm quality. It's linked to 50% of all fertility issues. That comes from the National Institute of Health, which is also an organization I trust as probably as far as I can throw them. But I do agree with this stat, okay? Another stat that I trust far more comes from Dr. Schaefer, and it is by the year 2045, the median sperm count is predicted to be 0. By that same year, judging by current projections and research, 1 in 3 couples is predicted to rely on IVF to conceive a baby. So that's scary as heck, guys. Like this truly, we are in a fertility crisis. So the good news, as you can read on this screen, is that sperm regenerates every 90 days. That means in 3 months, dad can massively influence his conception success just by getting intentional with his health. So what destroys sperm quality? High stress, crap diet, crap sleep, alcohol, toxins, plastics, EMFs, sedentary lifestyle. So if you are prepping for a baby, you're prepping your body for a baby, and he's still doing Red Bulls and Netflix binges on the couch, it is time to bring him into the conversation, because you're not doing this alone, right? You're truly not doing this alone. So chiropractic, we just went over being the central spoke to address first. That nervous system has to be part of the equation, both for the 3 Ps for mama, but for dad also. The state of that neural system is largely tied to our body's ability to easily and effectively create life. And then what I'm next going to call these big 4, these apply, again, somebody's calling, apologies, calling person, you'll have to wait. But I'm calling the big 4. These apply both to mom and to dad as well. So nourishment. No, we're not talking about kale smoothies and counting calories. I am instead encouraging you to focus on foods that are like nutrient dense. We're talking about cellular level nourishment. So giving your body and future baby the raw materials it needs to build a brain, to build a spine, to build a placenta, an entire nervous system. If you're in the office this week, it was Hammy, our hamburger from McDonald's, and our chicken nuggets. It's their 13th birthday. They don't look all that different, y'all, from when we purchased them 13 years ago. So do you think those are what we should be using as building blocks for our babes? Absolutely not. We shouldn't be using them as building blocks for ourselves. If you are eating at McDonald's still, please stop. Please stop. But you are literally using the foods that you intake, the foods that your partner intakes to build a baby. So if you're curious, also Google, the timelines on when certain milestone organs and parts are developing. It is pretty interesting. But focus on nutrient dense foods. If you're like, what does that mean? This means, this sounds extreme, like organ meats and livers, but it doesn't have to be that extreme, guys. You can use wild seafood. You could look at pasture raised eggs, fermented foods, healthy fats, bone broths, focusing on iodine. So things like seaweed and Brazil nuts. Ditch the processed fake crap foods. like McDonald's, but anything really that comes in a bag or a box, probably not that good for us. You want to make sure you're drinking water and electrolytes. Hydration equals hormone flow. So you can't detox, you can't create cervical mucus if you are dehydrated. Aim for half of your body weight in ounces of clean filtered water daily, ideally with some sort of like a Celtic salt or trace minerals, or like squeeze lemon there so you can actually absorb the water that you drink. Water follows minerals, follows salts. So if you don't have those in your water, which if you're drinking regular old tap water, you for sure don't. They filter that out. You can drink all the water in the world and you'll pee it right out. Okay. In addition to taking on like the fluoride and the chlorine and the other crap that's in there. So dehydration and mineral deficiency are the silent disruptors of fertility and hormone function. Truly, a small thing makes huge impact. Okay. Number 2 of the big 4, stress. Stress isn't just an emotion. It is a hormone disruptor. So if your body thinks you are running from a tiger, it's not interested in ovulating or ensuring healthy sperm. If your body does not feel safe, it will not prioritize reproduction. Period. Now, safety here is not a mindset. I'm not talking about, are you anxious or worried for you, which I mean, if those are real too. If those are, those definitely impact. If you are, those directly impact. But safety, what I'm talking about here, it is a physiological state of being. Chronic stress equals high cortisol, means low progesterone, equals poor implantation, short luteal phases, even miscarriage, okay? Research has shown that chronic stress can increase miscarriage rates by up to 42%, and it reduces IVF success by nearly 30%. This is a big deal. We actually have technology here in our office that helps us determine that physiological state, safety or growth. You can't be in both at the same time, guys. So if your body is skewed one way or the other, it can go both ways. You're going to have a heck of a time conceiving a baby easily and effectively. So see your chiropractor regularly to support your nervous system. Unplug and regulate. So no phones in bed. Do grounding. If you are not sure what any of this is, by all means, you can message us here on Facebook or do a Google search. Actually would be a much quicker turnaround of your time. But things like walking, being in nature, journaling, those are all going to help manage and downplay that stress response. Number 3 is sleep. So melatonin is not just like your sleepy time friend. I say all the time how our circadian rhythm goes far beyond sleep. Folks with poor sleep have a 30 to 45% higher chance of infertility. And women specifically have a 20% higher risk of miscarriage. The reason being, melatonin is an awesome antioxidant for sperm and egg quality. Melatonin, since it's crucial for sperm motility, energy production, oocyte maturation, overall sperm and egg quality, sleep isn't just like nice to have. It is essential for ovulation, egg quality, sperm quality, uterine lining development. So what I would recommend, 7 to 9 hours per night of uninterrupted sleep in a cold, dark room. Melatonin loves the dark, right? No screens, 60 to 90 minutes before bed. Chiropractic adjustments, they improve your parasympathetic function and your sleep cycles. Yeah, number 4, movement. Now, I'm not talking about killing yourself at the gym or logging like, ooh, I got 23 of my 30 minutes today. That's not what I'm talking about. But I am talking about like intentional aligned movement that lights you up and that puts a literal spring in your step. It's going to support detox, circulation, and pelvic balance. Walking is one of my most favorite things. And people laugh at how simple it is, but that means it's also simple not to do, guys. Walking is the perfect pregnancy exercise, as is yoga and body weight exercises. Ideally, 30 minutes a day. Daily spinal movement is also key. 60% of the sensory food that your brain moshes on comes from spinal movement. So if you haven't gathered yet, chiropractic care is wicked important. If you want your brain to have a proper picture of what's going on, outside your body, inside your body with baby, outside baby's body, chiropractic is a must. Proper pelvic alignment through movement and chiropractic care can actually reduce labor times by up to 25% and C-section rates by 30%. That sounds like what I want to sign up for, okay? So this is your shot at building a healthy foundation for your family. I don't want you to wait for something to go wrong before you do something. So my reminder that I'd like to close with is that conception and pregnancy aren't broken systems to fix. They're actually beautifully intelligent processes that we just need to give the proper and right attention and support. So if you are ready to align with your body's power, I like puns, right? Whether you're preparing your body for the journey of parenthood or not, we are here for it. If this message resonates with you, I would love to ask you to share it with someone who needed to hear it. If you are finding yourself without a chiropractor and you want to work with someone who gets it, right here, we specialize in preconception and prenatal care here at Healing Touch Chiropractic. You can message us on Facebook if you have questions. You can also by following us on our social. Obviously, we're on Facebook. We're also on Instagram. You can find more rockin' education, some inspiration, dare I say, even some laughs, following us on those pages. If you know you're ready to start your life-changing care with us, this QR code on the right will take you right to that starting point. Upcoming in the office, 17th of April, hot Jove, that's next week. Dr. Tiff will be addressing all things low back pain and what's really going on and what to do about it. That same day, I'll be hosting our Rooted Connections meetup, which will happen virtually via Zoom. And we're talking empowered birthing that aligns with every piece and value of you. May 8th, our Facebook Live workshop will be bouncing back from birth trauma. So join us for those. If you're in the office, we always, between like the bathrooms and the snacks, we have a calendar, a bulletin board of sorts. It's always got upcoming events, things that we welcome you to join. We welcome you to share with your friends. We would love to continue to not just learn with you, but connect with you and really to further foster this community that we have here at Healing Touch, which is pretty dang special. If you're here, you know that. But until then, trust birth, trust your body, trust your baby. All right? Here's to your healthy, happy home, future mom and dad. Or if you're not interested in growing a family, wonderful person who wants to learn more. Okay? See you soon.